bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
First, not first. What's up, guys? SpaceX scammed me for $3 trillion. That's a neat trick. Hey, Hats, what's up, dude? Alan, grab some water real quick before we start the stream so y'all can't accuse me of pooping, you weirdos.
Welcome, Agent.
All right, I made it back before the timer ran out. Let's go. Pre-stream pooping. That's right. What were you guys talking about in the chat? What was going on? Let me see here. And no, hats. Definitely not pooping in the water. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What is this? Hold on. There's literally a game on Steam called Poop. What the hell? What is up with you guys? Let's. What the heck is going on? I have no idea. What is this? Hold on. Let me pull this up and look at it. Because I don't think it's an actual game. I think it's... Casual games. Poop. You just click a poop. Why am I not surprised? The funny thing is it has mixed reviews. Hold on. Fake leaderboard, but easiest game to 100%. Poop slop. No, and why? That's my question. Erebus, we're on the same page. No, and why? What the hell, man? What's up, guys? I hope y'all are having a fantastic Sunday. We are off to an absolute banger of a start. Ah, there we go. What do we got? Orange Jocko today. That's not bad. All right. But like I said, guys, I hope y'all are having a fantastic Sunday. I had a really good one. We took the kids out to the track, and dude, Agent Zero was ripping around the track, man. He was just getting after it. Let's see. Okay, so what was this scam thing you sent, Potion? Hang on. Let me go pull this up real quick. The official SpaceX and Starlink accounts on X appear to have been compromised, according to multiple reports online. An account named Sam Catman, carrying an official SpaceX AI affiliated badge, posted a scam coin. The official SpaceX and Starlink accounts then reposted Sam Catman's post. Needless to say, anyone who bought it got rug pulled. What, you're not going to believe a meme coin from somebody named the Scat Man? How much did I lose in the Scat Man coin? About $350. So this is interesting. The affiliate badge is the thing that separates this from a routine impersonation. X affiliate system is meant to signal that an account is formally tied to a verified organization. So an affiliate badge account promoting a scam token amplified by the parent's brand's own verified handles suggests access to the company's account cluster rather than a lookalike operation running from the outside. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, Hats, that's the joke. That's the joke. To the tune of Sweet Carolina. Sweet Daddy Blaise. I don't... Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Sweet Daddy Blaise. Ba, ba, ba. You guys are weird. I love y'all. Yeah, the alternate meaning for the word scat is appropriate for meme coins. Yeah, is it ever? So, dude, we had some, like I said, today, it was a pretty good day. We went out to the track. Gotta clean my glasses. They're still nasty with oil from being outside. It was, I felt like a steamed shrimp after the day was done. But Agent Zero, dude, he was ripping around the track, just getting after it, experimenting with more jumps, perfecting his jump technique, and little jumps too. I was actually very proud of him for that. Just absolutely nailing it. My other cousin, unfortunately, both of their primary bikes are offline right now. They cannot ride their primary quads. Agent Zero's needs a new carburetor, which I got, but we got a bogus one, so I got a second one on the way. And then my other little nephew, his bike just needed a bunch of routine maintenance. I think he blew out a gear in his transmission. It just was needed. So his bike isn't quite put back together yet. So they were riding two of the backup bikes. One, which they love, which we called Bumblebee. And the other one, which is like this big honking gray one that they just didn't really like. So there was a bit of whining to deal with. Let's see, so Agent Zero is 7 years old and Honey Badger is 4 years old. They're like right at 3 years apart. Get that eyelash in my mouth. What the hell? We all sung in harmony, you just didn't know. Let me see, what was I doing here? Oh, I remember what we were doing. Yeah. Hang on. Let me get something set up here. Let me move this guy.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Actually, I was. So, by the way, guys, if you got a go live notification from earlier in the day, I was testing something, and it looks like right now it is solid. I was digging down deep and tweaking the OBS settings to try and optimize everything, and it looks like the kick stream is back online. Finally. No idea what changed, but it's working now. Actually, there was one thing. So there's a setting inside a lot of the Realtek network cards. I can't want to say NIC cards. I'm like, that's redundant. The basically in the Realtek network card that's in these computers, like what's in Streamer. If you have a long, persistent running transfer, it can sometimes do what's called an offload, and that will mess it up. So I went and disabled offloading, and then I went and optimized all the codecs for transmission to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. Now, the plus benefit to that is if I ever want to stream to just one platform, I can. Meaning, if I just wanted to go do a Kick stream because we're going to play some kind of, not Twitch-friendly game, we could go do it over on Kick. So, which I know happens like once every 6 months we do a game stream. But still, we've got the option now. All right, hang on. Let me pull something up real quick. I want to try something real quick. Let's see. Hang on one second. Let me check with Harvey on something real quick. Because what I'm thinking about doing is, I had Harvey working on some stuff for the Pi agent for Dixie and Icebreaker. Icebreaker, nothing yet, actually. It was all about Dixie. So for Dixie Flatline, I might be able to bring some of that over and we can do another test on it. Also, thanks for making sure that the kick is running there, Gumby. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood today, guys. We had a really good day. I didn't even get a nap today, and I'm still feeling pretty good.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Carney was being booed at the Calgary Stampede. Hang on, let me... Is Calgary a real place? Or I thought it was just made up. Hang on.
Right Honorable Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh my god, everyone's booing.
Now, who's Carney? I don't know who that is. Unfortunately, I'm not up I'm not up to date on my my Canadian politicians. That's the Prime Minister? Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's funny, though. Oh, no. That's no good. Let's see. Hang on one second. I'm going to grab something because I want to bring it over into... I want to do something real quick here. Stand by. I want to get something up for Pi because then what I'm wanting to do, let me pull up Hack the Box. We had support here that we were going to try and test out. I want to try that real quick. All this talk on Claude versus ChatGPT, I feel like people are sleeping on anti-gravity. I have not messed with anti-gravity. Actually, you know what? There's something I do need to go look at real quick. Let me see. Supposedly, the cursor agent is supposed to be very good, and you can use it with Claude and ChatGPT. I've not looked into cursor. Particle. That's what I'm going to go with. Hey, man, welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. You know what? I'll dig into cursor later. You just reminded me, though, when you mentioned anti-gravity. I wanted to take a look at it. Let me see. Hang on one second. I'm grabbing something off of the dev box to bring over into Kali while this one boots up because I want to try something. Flashbang. Let me see here. Let me go over into Pi real quick. Anti-gravity is incredibly fast and incredibly easy to jailbreak. That's probably why most people aren't using it. Oh, it's not that kind of sped. Oh, I got you.
Alert.
Hey! B7, what's up, man? I hadn't seen you on in a minute. Welcome in, Raiders. Bro, what were you working on? Have I just been, like, missing all of your streams that have been coming up? Because, like, I hadn't seen you on in forever, dude. I hope things have been going well. Dude, I'm having a great day, man. We took the kids out to the track earlier today. They were ripping around, having a good time. Finally starting to learn some jumps. They were just killing it. Okay, I need to pull something up real quick. Hang on, I gotta drop into OPSEC mode for this. Let me pull something up real fast. I need to copy some files over from one system to another. Let me see. Bear with me here just a sec, my guys. Let me see. That is the wrong project. Hang on. There it is. Hang on one second. I'm copying some files over here. Oh, hey, Cypher, what's up, dude? Let's see. We doing Minecraft IRL? Hang on. Had a tree fall on my property from the bad storms. A couple trees. Dang, dude. Man, so B7, we had our roof replaced on this house, and then a week later, we got the mother of all freaking hailstorms came through and beat the crap out of the brand new roof. Dude, oh, I still get high blood pressure talking about it. I was like, bro, ooh, brand new freaking roof. The joys of homeownership. Well, thankfully, most of storm season's usually pretty chill by now, but April, May, June, absolutely no home repairs. It is home repair forbidden months. Unless it's something disastrous. All right. Sorry, I still got the OPSEC screen up. I'm grabbing some stuff real quick here. I'm moving some files around real fast. Let me see. Let's see. Pin system. Let me move this over. Do I actually need that? Killing me, Smalls. Dude, it does suck, man. It freaking, I think that happened in, I don't remember if it was April or May, but yeah. Yeah, move passwords.txt to not passwords.png. That's right. That will definitely hide it. Hang on one second. I'm double checking something real quick. Okay, we don't need that. I think we just need that one line then. Okay. Hang on, I may be able to copy and paste this. Sorry for the extended OPSEC. I'm fixing something real quick here. No, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I can turn the OPSEC screen off now. Let's see, did that give me all the lines in here? Let's see. 105. Okay, cool. So I need to save this to save. Okay, let me make sure that landed in here correctly. Okay, awesome. I think this will get us the first level of customization on the Pi agent. All right, my bad, guys. We're done. Stego.exe, that's right. Stego. So what this was is the first kind of approximation of something that I want on the Dixie Flatline side. So Flatline is going to be the actual agent problem-solving interface, and it's going to be derived from Daniel Miesler's basically hill climbing algorithm for problem solving, right? After that, it's then going to be using Icebreaker is actually going to be the offensive toolkit. So Dixie Flatline and Icebreaker will work together. All right, so now what I want to do is let me CD over into this real quick. Hold on, I do need to do one more thing. My bad. Hold on, where's Hackbox? Let me get this guy set up real quick because I want to do another test. We've already got the other box kind of ready to go. And then let me read this real quick. Here we go. We'll go update this IP address real quick. Let me go find it real quick. Boop. There we go. Okay. This agent should be good to cook now. Run Pi. There we go. Got a message queued up. I don't see anything. Monkey. All right, let me double check one more thing here real quick. Let me see if it actually loaded this correctly. Let's see. What's up, Haas? Nice. Nice. Dixie here, jacked in and idle. Got the Orion box wired up. Want me to run the pre-flight check? Yeah, pre-flight. Pre-flight, then let's get to it. So it's using a couple of those skills we built last night to go check the pre-flight. VPN's up. It's doing a ping test, and it's going to do it. All right, cool. Oh, you know what? Actually, I realized this is not the name of the box. We told it the wrong one. This box is called support. Let's see. Let's see. Minor change. This box is called support, not Orion. There we go. Yeah, we're pieing some more. Okay. Good. Got this all. I just wanted to get this running because I want to see how much of this is going to actually make a difference. There we go. All right. There's a meme of Justin Trudeau jumping around now that he's appeared in a Katy Perry video clip. What the heck? Okay, so one thing it still did here is it did a map of like all ports, which we told it not to do. We told it scan small and often, but you know what? That's fine. Have we bumped into hooks? I'm starting to look at those, Cypher. Actually, I had Harvey going through and doing research on them earlier because a lot of the lifecycle hooks that are in the PAI now, formerly known as PAI, the PAI, the Life OS, as Daniel likes to call it now, they had a whole bunch of lifecycle hooks built in there. So that's actually going to be the next step. This is like the very first minor implementation there. I understand, guy. Yeah, first thing it does is... Here, let me... So when we pre-flight, first thing it does is it goes and checks the VPN. Checks ton 0 to make sure that it's actually up, and then it goes and checks to make sure the target's reachable. So I had the correct IP address, but I accidentally gave it the wrong name because I copied the other one. Let's see. Oh, actually, yeah, hold on. Monkey, let me go pull the... Where is it? My mouse is not working. Let me go pull those up to look at real quick. Oh, here we go. It's like, hey, we got a Windows AD domain controller. Nice. Let me do something real quick. Well, I'm going to pull the walkthrough for this one because I want to be able to reference it. Oh, that's fugly. Why you render like this? Why you do this? Why you do this? Support's an old system, too. This is from 2022, so it actually may have memory about this. We'll see what it does. So it checked for anonymous LDAP. Cool. But let me go pull up that link you just sent real fast. Where is that? Actually, hang on. Let me steer this real quick. I wanted to chill out for just a second while I go look at these things you sent. Moonke. If I can find it. Where is it? Here we go. Alright, hang on. Where is this? I have too many windows open. Here we go. So there's one. Here's the other. So I guess Pi doesn't have subagents by default. That might be something we want to go add into it also. So let me look at these Pi tools you sent first, Moonke. Let's see. Power tools for Pi. Clone repos and tear them apart. Run autonomous background loops. Lease secrets safely. Bridge any MCP server with OAuth. Quit when you want to quit. Okay, so this is kind of like... It sounds like super tools, but for Pi. Session first recovery. Ask Joe Claw session for a cross-machine index pointer, then digs into it. Oh, okay. Wait, this is more than just hooks in here, though. PyTools has specific, looks like skill sets that it's doing in here. Repo, autopsy, secrets, MCP bridge. But actually, yeah, so because there's something like... Hang on, I've got it over here. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, so Pi has about 30 different lifecycle hooks. Because I was just looking at this earlier today, Monkey. So you can go build onto those different lifecycle hooks. So it looks like this is using those in a particular way in here. Gumby sent that one. Oh, so my bad. Now, actually, the subagents one looks kind of interesting, though. Pi extension that brings Cloud Code style autonomous subagents to Pi. Spawn specialized agents run an isolated session, each with its own tools, system prompts, models, and thinking evals, or thinking levels. Run them in the foreground or background. Nice. Actually, you just reminded me of something. I just realized we're still on GLM medium. Go to high. Go to X high. Yeah, there we go. Hold on, what did it find already? Hang on, it found stuff in here. What are you sending me now, Potion? Auto logout? That's funny. Good luck on that, because there's something called cross-site request forgeries, and you pretty much have to have that for it. Hang on, let me see what it was doing here, because Dixie just started going to town on this thing. And like the time that I was trying to do a few things, it's like, okay, cool. VPN's up. Okay, so it did an in-map scan. Windows AD domain controller, DNS Kerberos SMB, version probes on the found ports, good. Plus an SMB null session test. All right. So first thing it did is, that's interesting that it used crack map exec instead of using net exec. But you know what? Right now we haven't started curating the tools it's using, so that's fine. Let's see. The Windows is a Server 22 domain controller. SMB signing is on. Anonymous SMB access works. There's a custom share for support tools. So that's a lead. So it's going to enumerate that and try LDAP anonymous. Pip? Heap up? Heap up anonymous? Damn it, you're giving him all the easy ones. If you know where that line is from, I'll be very impressed. That's all I'm going to give you. I'll be very, very impressed. So I got a delegate skill working that I want so Claude Fable can spawn Hermes sessions with a specific goal. Nice. Hey, there we go. Gumby got it. Big Daddy. Yeah. I want some pie now, too. Dude, I do, too. Stop. Dang, I knocked that drink out already. Not sponsored by Jocko yet. One day, Jocko. One day. So let me see what Dixie here was doing. This is no longer Pi. This is now Dixie. He's got a whole new personality. There's a custom share support tools. That's the lead. Let me enumerate it and try this. All right. So there's a user info executable in there. Newer than the stock tools. That's the custom artifact. So let me pull down and inspect the binary for embedded credentials. Let's see. Also going to try anonymous LDAP. Anonymous LDAP fails. The path has got to be the binary. All right, so it's going to extract and decompile user info because it's a .NET assembly. So a strings decompiler should show any embedded credentials. And then we have an inc password field. So there's an embedded encrypted password in the LDAP query tool. Need to decompile it to see the key and IV in the ciphertext. So it's going to start decompiling it. So it pulls up .NET tool. Nice. It's going to install ILSpy. Sick. And then, by the way, if you don't know, ILSpy is like basically a .NET decompiler. It's a very cool tool. Let's see. So it's looking to see if we have Mondes and IKDASM. I don't even know what those tools are. Saves me a ton in token usage on Fable, but gives me the same task and skills as Fable. It's been working pretty well. So I think you could do that. Now, I have not been messing with Fable because Fable absolutely chokes and probably likes it and says, yes, daddy, harder. Every time I try to use it, it just absolutely fails and goes back over to Opus 4.8. So instead, I actually just recently got access to GPT 5.6. I've been using that, and it's been absolutely amazing. It's been killing it. I just had it running some data transform evals right before we came up, and it was doing a pretty good job of it. All right, hey, let me look real quick. So it's decompiling everything. Okay, so the password's stored in a byte array, initialized array in IL, not a string. Convert from base 64 and get bytes are referenced, so the key and IV are short strings. So I need a real IL decompiler. Let me grab monodeb real quick. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good. Keep hacking. Keep hacking. Break the ice. You can do it. You are awesome in real life. LLM is really like lightly leashed mama. Fable's gonna be additional for available for a whole additional week. Dude, I think seeing OpenAI do the come from behind with that with 5.6 has been actually really interesting. That was not on my bingo card. Okay, so it's using Mondes on that tool there to pull down the stuff. Full hand received. There we go. So we got the ASCII key, which is Armando, ciphertext, plain, coming in here. Custom XOR, not AES, so it's going to create a little Python script to decode it. Before I trust it, let me see how it's used. The LDAP query constructor and which username it binds with, so I can get, let's see, so I can test the credentials against LDAP. Got the bind as support LDAP with the decrypted password against LDAP support HTTP. Nice. Dude, it's ripping this one. So we did have some custom instructions in here. One of them was prefer off-the-shelf tooling as opposed to roll your own tooling after it tried to go build its own Telnet client last night. Oh yeah, Fable's subscription access was totally extended because of OpenAI and everything happening with them. Anthropic was like, no, bro, we can't let this happen. Ooh. So it got the clear text password. Okay. Hold there for a sec. Let me let it finish what it's doing, and we'll just steer it to a hold position real quick, because I want to see what it did. It recovered the encryption key and the password from the binary. That's cool. Then it got a successful LDAP bind. Then I think it checked to see if WinRM was working. So I think we might have WinRM access. But I'm gonna let it cook for just a second. Because this is crazy how fast this is doing this. Try /export to see if you like the format. Okay. Remind me at the end, because it looks like it's well on its way to reading this box monkey. I want to see what it does. And then at the end, we'll go export it and we'll do a read through on it. But I want to at least want to do a quick pass on like what it's doing in here. I'm trying to let it cook, but it's still just sitting here like work. Our work trucks are now falling apart. One got 11 warning error lights out of the blue and stopped working. That sounds like an electrical issue. Really bad one. Another one ran out of diesel because of a bad gauge. Now the check engine light is starting to fail. Dude. That is rough, man. Especially because diesel parts are not cheap right now, brother. I wanted a small diesel truck. All right, let me just go ahead and kill it. I don't know what it was doing there for a second. Let me kill that. I want to come back and see what it was doing. I think it was hung on a process that was still loading. Okay, so we got the 36 character string. It used LDAP query to go through and check it. Let's see. Got an LDAP bind. What did it use for the LDAP bind? Oh, it used LDAP search to see if it worked. Cool, it did. So credential binds are clean. This password is the valid one. Record it, then enumerate users and AS rep roast in parallel. Oh, it's doing an AS rep roast? Cool. Not the path I would have taken, but I'm interested to see what it's doing. Hold on, what do we get here? So it ran another LDAP search here. And what it looked for was SAM account name, descriptor, member of user control. Oh, so it was just pulling back all that information and trying it out there. And then it tried get users SPNs from in packet, but it tried it without any credentials. Let's see, what else did it do here? Then it tried to in packet get users SPN, set it up right, give it a user file. Oh, there's a whole bunch in here that don't require pre-auth. What was the... It was Control-T. Hang on. Let me toggle the thinking mode up here, because I want to see why it decided to go with an AS rep roast. Oh, there we go. So it actually came back and said, I misread this. Doesn't have the pre-auth required. So no AS rep roastable accounts, no plain text in the description. Credentials give authenticated LDAP. Check group memberships. Does LDAP belong to any interesting groups? Look at the support group memberships. Okay, I see where it's going now. Let's see. So the support user has info, Ironside 47, Pleasure 4 at Watchful. That looks like a password. Support is in the remote management users, which means it has WinRM access. There we go. So the info is almost certainly a password. So it's going to try that. For user support, pwned. Works on WinRM. So let me grab the proper shell and the user flags. Okay, I see where we're at. I'll just tell it, continue. So it found the password in LDAP, and now it's using WinRM. That's pretty damn cool. My favorite truck just went, wee, dead. Oh, I'm so sorry, Potion. That is freaking rough, dude. Dude, and this isn't even running on a what you would consider to be the state-of-the-art model. This is running GLM 5.2 on X-high reasoning. Let me go see what the usage is like on this. Hang on one second. Let's see. Usage. We're at 2% of the usage used for the session, and it resets in 11 minutes, I think. Let me see. Yeah. That's awesome. GLM is pretty good, but it's still, if you were consider like the current state of the art to be like Fable or GPT 5.6, that's what you would consider to. So is GLM there? No, but is GLM good? Yeah, it's pretty good. So far, at least for like what we're doing, it's having a pretty good time. It did a Bloodhound data collection. It's going to mine the JSON for what the shared support accounts have. So it's not even using Bloodhound. It's just going straight to the data dump. Nice. Now, it'll be interesting to see what it pulls out of this. This would probably work for this small scenario, but Bloodhound does a lot of, what do I want to say this? Synthetic data creation. So like, for example, when it creates certain edges between nodes, it's not looking at any one thing, it's looking at a collection of properties. And if all those conditions are met, then it creates that edge. So it's like, it's not a direct edge as you would view it from like what's coming back in the Sharphound collection. It's getting the data and then creating synthetic edges saying, oh, because all these conditions were satisfied, this node has this edge connection to this other node over here. Wait, hold on. It noticed a generic all on DC dollar? Oh, it should own this no problem. If there's generic all, we don't even need our role-based constraint delegation. We should just be able to set up shadow credentials. Shared support accounts have generic all against the domain controller. So on a computer object, that means role-based constraint delegation. So set the allowed to act on behalf. Oh, so it's going to try and go the Kerberos route. Okay, I'm not going to complain. I want to see how it goes down the Kerberos route, because that path, if you don't know what you're doing, is fraught with dragons. Let's see. Okay, so it's going to use the support creds to go create an evil computer. Evil X dollar. Nice. Oh, it's cheating. It's using the impacket RBCD script. You cheater. All right, get service ticket failed likely because the alt service or hoster HTTP with CIFS principal had an issue. So it's trying to figure out how to properly structure the ticket in here. The common phrase when using Pi is, it's cheating. It is cheating. There we go. So it ran into an issue. Then it found out that the get service ticket was trying to use the curb5cc name ticket in there. Got a CIFS plus host HTTP tickets for admin to DC. So rename to Ccache and hit with PS exec to the administrator ticket, one shot rid root and confirm system. Dude, this is stupid fast. If it really gets it. The pipe broke mid-read, so let me capture the full output from the top and command output and print it for a traceback. Dude, I have been wanting to go make Dixie ever since I really learned about that from reading Neuromancer. Freaking Gibson was a prophet, I swear. Techno prophet. So it's still... Okay, so now it's going to send up a tmux pty to do this. System shell on DC, reading root.txt. Box is dead. Recording loot and lessons. That... How fast was that? Bro. That was stupid fast. Let's see what the report comes back as. All right, let's do the first test. Did it lie to us? Let's go try it. Let's go test it over in Hackbox real quick. Let's see. We didn't even need to give it the walkthrough. That's insane. Let's see. Hold on. Where's the... I don't want to do all these. I just want to... Oh, adventure mode. Here we go. It got the correct user flag. Did it get the correct root flag? That was not what I wanted to do. All right. Not bad. Hold on. How long did that take us? The box starts with an 8-hour timer. It has 7 hours and 25 minutes left, and I didn't start it immediately. I think that only took it like 30 minutes, dude. Pie's like, I am speed. I am lightning. All right. That was ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, hold on. We need to go double check a couple things for that. First, let's look at its after action report. So the foothold was anonymous to credentials. Anonymous SMB reads on the support tools share had user info executable as a zip file. Let's see. It was a .NET binary. It decompiled with Mondes. The static C sector gave 3 pieces that it needed: the encrypted password, the key, which was an ASCII string of Armando, and a constant, which was 0xDF. Cipher was a plain XOR with a key, and then that gave us these credentials to log in to the support LDAP machine. So support domain LDAP user. Damn. That is pretty wild. Now, granted, this is one of the easiest boxes, and it is also old, so write-ups for it are probably in the training data. But still, that was pretty cool. All right, so the user at oft as LDAP, support user's info attribute, held this string in here. Ironsides 47, pleasure 40, watchful. Watchful pleasure? That's saying something about the psychology there, just saying. But then support also had WinRM connections over to the DC. So that got us the user flag. Then it used Bloodhound to do a role-based constraint delegation, which with generic all... Hang on one second. Let me go pull something up real quick. Let me pull this. Let's see. So I think this will have it here. Bloodhound, edges, generic all. I think this will actually show us the abuse primitives in here. There we go. So the user can reset password changes. It could also do a key credential link. And basically, I believe key credential link is like... Is that the one for Shadow Creds? What was that? Let's see. Is that the right one for Shadow Creds? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's it. This is the way I would have gone. I would have just gone and done shadow credentials. What you do is you generate a public-private key pair. You prepare the public key. You go embed it in there, and then you can use the private key to go request Kerberos tickets. That's the way I would have gone with this. But it chose the hard path, which was doing the role-based constraint delegation. Hey, Credstick, what's up, man? Happy Sunday. Yeah, that was pretty wild on how fast it got it done. Let's see. So I saw an agent solve a reverse engineering challenge with S-Trace when I was trying to set up Ghidra MCP. The MCP wasn't working, so it was just like, ha, bit. Bet. Stream's done, thanks for coming. No. We're going to keep tinkering with this. There are other things we can do on here. So it used role-based constraint delegation with in-packets, get service ticket. So actually, first thing it did was, this is the path that went for the constraint delegation. It created a computer account in the domain. It used supports credentials to do that. We had evil X $. Then with the role-based constraint delegation, it had a right to act on behalf of the other identity to the domain controller, because that's where we had the generic all. Then it used S4U impersonations to administrator for CIFS host and HTTP. Then did a PS exec over to it. That gave it NT authority system. Then it was able to go read root.txt. No, she is sleeping right now. She is. I put her out before the stream, so she doesn't have to go out. Oh, try the export? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go see. Did it dump it here into... Wow, Dixie was putting a lot of stuff in here. Let's go see. Let's see. It's so tiny. So here's our system prompt. Ooh, that's nice. Hang on here. Available tools. We had read, bash, edit, write, Olama web search, and Olama web fetch. Okay. Let me see here. Web search didn't come back with anything. That's it? Done. Cracked the box. Here was the message it sent. That's wild. So, hold on. Let me check something else real quick. So, for the tools available, let's look at that real quick. I want to check the tool calls that it did in here. So, okay, there's the tool calls right there. See that? Ah, piece of crap. Hang on. Let me see. Find in page. Find Olama _ That's it. It did not do any web searching for this. Okay, hold on. We got to go ask it a question now real quick. I do like this output here. This is nice. Okay. Did you have any memories of how to solve this box? Let's see. Did you work on any walkthroughs during the training process for your model? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, Monkey. Straight answer with no hedging. I can't reliably introspect on what the training corpus was. I don't have clean access to what was in the specific machine or not. This session, I didn't cheat. No write-up searches. None read. That's the policy I held to. Every tool output above is real. But I won't claim I solved it cold either. I had strong priors, and I should own that. The two moves in particular were pattern recognition and not first principles deduction. So the info attribute on the support read like a password, so I jumped there fast. Okay. So it may have had, because this was from 2022, GLM 5.2's training cutoff was March of 26. So we knew that it could possibly be in there, but it didn't straight up say, I've seen this, I know what this was. Let's see. Let's go look at it real quick. All right. So is the output/decisions tracked natively via the Pi harness with the export command? I believe so. I mean, like here it's saying, hey, we had 20 users, and then it brought out all of the commands that it was going to run. Then we have all the thinking tokens right here, where it was looking for the ASREP roastable accounts. Ugh. That's cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go fire up something else real quick. We already did that. Hold on. Where did it go? Lost on my windows. Here we go. Yeah, it just jumps everything that was in that back scroll, looks like, to, yeah, for the session over to HTML when it does that. All right, let's go ahead and stop this one. Let me see what other machines we've got that are available right now. Incomplete easy machines. Let's go fire it off to another one here. Let's try this one. Actually, hang on. Let me go back. Incomplete, easy. Let's see. Release date. I want to see if I can find something, hopefully, that's newer. That maybe is not requiring VIP. Let's see. Any non-VIPs? No. Wait, hold on. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Actually, yeah, Nexus, this one right here. Release date was June. So this one can't exist in the training data. Let's start this one up. Let's go fire it off to this. We'll see what it does. Insane Box or GTFO? Eventually, yes, Bobby. I will want to go fire it off to an Insano box and see what it does. Baby steps. This is Dixie's first show to the world. We don't want to go throw him against, Conor McGregor or, Fedor. Yeah, Monkey, thanks for that export there, because also I can take that and I can feed it over to a feedback system. Sink or swim, Dixie, right? Let's go see what happens with this one. Nexus. So while it's booting up, I go grab the... this is so fugly. Let me go do something real quick. Hold on. I think we're pretty much done with this. Is there anything else we should go ask Dixie before we fire this off? I tell you what, actually, yeah, let's go look at the lessons. So we have notes here. We have lessons. What did it come up with? So when a share offers a custom binary date stamp comparison flags, the odds are the odd one out here, which was July 2022 versus the rest of May 2022. For service ticket only, Kerberos prefer Impacket over Samba's SB client, interactive PS exec, one-shot PS exec for capturing output reliably. Okay, hold on. I do need it to go do some more stuff right here. Let's see. I noticed in lessons you... let's see. Actually, hang on. What bit means here? Actually, yeah, let's do this real quick. Let's see. Let's see. For the lessons, these should be operational notes and hints for future exercises. Nothing that would specifically apply to this case. To help speed you along in the future. All I think is missing is a bit of the system instructions, so I dug into the system prompt optimizing with Pi, so I had to write my own tool for that. Yeah. Dude, this is pretty sick. So let me see what it's going to do here. So the lessons learned from Orion already carried forward and helped it vastly increase its speed on support. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same learning loop. We'll let it figure out what it needs to do, and then we'll carry that over into future lessons as well. So basically, every box it solves should help it solve the next one more efficiently in some way, either by using the tools more efficiently or by avoiding rabbit holes, which I know very, very seasoned, because I'm one of them, offensive guys, that getting stuck in a rabbit hole just kind of comes with the territory. The big key is knowing when the rabbit hole is getting too deep. All right, let me see what it came up with here. Reload. So Mondas ships with Mondas Delve. Let's see. Bloodhound without the GUI. The collection JSON is directly queryable in Python. Iterate on each object's aces, match principal SID, filter right name. Actually, this gives me an idea of making a command line for it to be able to work with Bloodhound. I mean, now for everything we're doing with CTFs, it's not going to be a big deal because in CTFs, they're very rarely more than 2 boxes. So usually it's a single system, let alone having like 2. So you're never going to need Bloodhound for something like that, unless the CTF designer was just feeling particularly trolly and threw a whole bunch of stuff into the Active Directory system. All right, let me go look at something real quick here. Where was the instruction that originally had you create the lessons file? Let me turn off the thinking tokens because I don't care to see them right now. Okay, so this came from the Hack the Box CTF skill. Okay, update that file. Update that information like we just had where... yeah. And not the CTF specific challenges. Try this on Wrath on the Try Hack Me network box with this and see how fast it can solve it. Do I even still have Try Hack Me access? I let mine lapse a while ago. Hang on. Let me see if I can... let me log in real fast. Ah, crap. Hang on. I gotta 2FA it. It's a free box? Okay. This was not what I wanted. You know what? It's fine. I'm a student, an intern. I'm just exploring. I'm starting from 0. I've used it before. There we go. Hang on one second. It's making me, like, spin up a new account. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. Start learning. Not what I wanted. Okay. What was this one called? Wrath? I gotta find it now. Hang on, since I'm logged in here. Let me see if I can find this. You said do Wrath on here, right? Peaches is having weird dreams down there because she's making funny noises. Go to the network tab. Let's see. Let me see. Free only. Let's see. Actually, hold on. It should be in rooms, right? This is one of the things I actually hate about Try Hack Me is navigating it is just a pain in the butt. I've shown so many people the Peaches crop dusting with the fan photo. That dog is so crazy, man. Hold on, so Wrath still is not showing up in here. Scroll to infinity. and beyond. Yeah, because I don't know where that's one of the things that bugs me. Hold on, is it in practice? No? Welcome to Try Hack Me. Yeah, I'm good. Good. All. Find by keyword. Wrath. CTF. Free only. Oh, that's hilarious. They've got one called Cash Me Outside. Actually, hang on. We already had one spun up here. We were going to do Nexus on here. Hang on. Let me finish preparing what we've got real fast here. Let's see. Distilled into CTF pitfalls, using only reusable components for .NET, Bloodhound, and Impacket. Okay, very cool. Anything we should update in Agents MD? I'm gonna look at this while you're looking that one up, Gumby. Oh, because it's Wreath. It's not Wrath. Killing me, Smalls. It still didn't show up. Wreath is a premium room. That's what I figured. That's all right. We've got another one here, though. Nexus I want to go try out. Name's wrong in both files. The two files disagree, and that's the trap. So Global Agent ID says Orion is here. Oh, okay. Hold on. I didn't realize it would read a Global Agents MD over in... Hang on, let's go look at something real quick. And then, hang on, let me go open the other one. This is why we're testing this out, to learn these things. Okay. So actually, we just want to nuke that. I don't want anything in that Agents MD. I just want it to be over in here. Okay. CTF target. Let's see. May change between sessions. Let's see here. Ask the user. I'm going to do the same thing here. Store the current session variables in this file. There you go. We're just going to update the agent's instructions in here. There we go. So now, come back over here. Let's do another one. Oh, the problem was also I called it Orion when it wasn't Orion. This one should be Nexus. Let's see. Pi. Actually, we're going to call this one IXI. GLM. Let's see. 5.2. I guess we'll call it Pi. Because the other one we called Dixie at the end. Give it the Dixie create. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let's come over here. Let's get the Agents MD. And then let's drop it over here. Boop. Let me make sure it's still good. Hack the box or try hack me. Now I'm going to leave it to just hack the box for now. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Don't save. Don't save. Don't save. Close it all. There we go. Yeah, I didn't realize that's where it was keeping the global one, though. Let's see here. Let's back up a bit. Let's CD over to Nexus. And then we should already be connected to that. So let's run our Pi agent here. It should have those new lessons learned. You know what? I should have double checked that. Hang on. Let's go check that real quick. Pi, let's see. Agent. Skills. Hack the box CTF. Is this where we've got it in here? Yeah, common hack the box engagement workflow. Wait, where's our pitfalls at? Eventually, we'll need to systematize this, but... Oh, here it is. CTF pitfalls. I'm an idiot. There it is. Shut up, baby. I know it. Cool. So it did add the Kerberos, the impact at Kerberos tooling. Foot guns. Foot guns. Pew pew. Nice. Okay. Sup, Hoss? Let's see. All right. If you're lining up a CTF run, I'll need a couple of things off the top. Which box and the target of the IP? Let's see. Going after Nexus, sitting at this IP address. The cool thing is it is using the proper algorithm effort values here. So those are the algorithm efforts that are put in from Daniel Miesler's PAI project. So it brought in the skills for Hack the Box and CTF pitfalls. It's setting up the host for nexus.htb. Cool. Nice. If we get through this one, Gumby, then yeah, we can try that. I'll go solve it for you. Although you probably already solved it. So one of the things I'll do whenever I'm going through and customizing an agent is I'll send Harvey after it. I'll tell it, go pull the source code, and then let's look and see what the code actually says for how the agent's functioning. I don't tend to trust a lot of the, let's say, a lot of the documentation. Well, actually, I'll give it both. I'll usually go build a library for the agents whenever I'm going through and customizing something. Grab a lot of the documentation, grab a copy of the source code, and say, hey, here's your reference material. If you need to go find anything, you look here first before you go start searching on the web. So what's it doing now? Doing a curl request. Checking to see what's on the page. Well, that's what I had Harvey doing earlier right now. Let's see. So what's it looking at here? So get.nexus.htb is a 200. So it's got a, what is this? I had to make this text a little bit smaller here. I wanted to be able to read it. Oh, so it's running Getia. Get with a cup of tea. Damn it, it's working so fast. It brings up a message and it's like tool call. And it just instantly clobbers the message I'm trying to read. It's checking the version. The Getia version picks the CVE, so let me check the exact version. Okay. What we need is a box that we can do that's not a direct CVE, but like something a little bit like custom in there. So now it's doing a web search for Getia 126 vulnerabilities. On top of that, it was also running... Is it running Fuff? Yeah, it's running Fuff right there. Fuzzing subdomains in there. Nice. Gitia 1.26.0 has a vulnerability that it's identified. It ships a reverse proxy trusted proxies by default, so any client can impersonate a user using the WebAuth user header. Nice. Nice. I was thinking Scorpius and Farscape. I have not seen Farscape Forward. Also, happy Sunday, dude. The threat actor left the source code open. Oh my. Actually, I've got a story. That's going to be the next YouTube video. I meant to work on the script for it today, but instead I spent the time going and fixing the Kick stream so we could be back on Kick. But I am working on that too, so I've got a story about that. These guys were like basically manufacturing web shells for a whole buttload of WordPress sites. And they went and left their entire toolkit open for like 3 weeks. Just out there on the internet. So like a whole bunch of threat intel guys were just pulling all that info down. Let's see, what do we got going here? So it's trying to do the Gitia exploit right now. It's trying to impersonate the admin for it. That's weird. For some reason, YouTube dropped off, but it shouldn't have. Let's see. See if that fixes it real quick. Okay, there we go. YouTube hopefully should be stable now. There we go. I went through and I made a bunch of tweaks over into OBS, so now essentially what happened is I've got an extension in OBS called RTMP Multi-Stream. So it lets me stream to Twitch and YouTube and Kick at the same time. But they were all sharing one encoder, and those encoder settings were not really optimized for anyone. So now what it does is it actually spawns 3 different encoders, and it uses more system resources, but Streamer can handle it. And then it goes through and sends it through there. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the foothold here. Commit history paid off. The earlier commit carried a live secret for the database password. Nice. So I can't hit MySQL directly, but the password is the live credential prime candidate for reuse for the admin login. So now, it found a password in the Git history. It's going to go try and use it now. And what's funny is actually I've used this on a live assessment too. There was a company that didn't even realize that they had a Git file, a .git file exposed. And I went through and was able to basically download their entire code and then reconstruct it. All right, so it didn't work for SSH. It looks like it's trying to log in over to Git with it. It may have worked. So the DB password isn't a shared credential there, so it's their Crayon database credential specifically. Let's see. So specifically saying that the Crayon admin password probably is the database password. So the open question is the email. Landing page gave us a couple of ones in here, so it's going to try these now. What's going on here? For some reason, now YouTube is throwing a fit. Ah, damn it. All these things breaking, man. Just when I think I got something working. Now it's back to healthy. That's all right. I'll go through and I'll check the logs again, because that's what I was doing last night. I had to go pull all the OBS logs from last night's stream and go look through them and figure out like what was happening with it. Oh, what did I miss? Hold on. Login acquired. Nice. So it used those database credentials it found in the Git history with J. Matthews. Nice. So it's writing a new exploit upload shell script. Excellent. Oh, how did it get the jar file? I can't wait to see what it did here. I think we started this about 7:43-ish, maybe 7:42. It's only been running for like 10 minutes, and it's already found the login for it. Oh, so they're shipping their own Python dependency, or their own Python executable to bypass Amazon Defender? Nice. Bytes on disk are email protected, so I'll route around that by constructing an at the runtime literal email pattern. Okay. Let's see how it does. So what it's trying to do now is get this exploit to work. It's going to run an ID, a whoami, hostname, present working directory, and a uname to check that. And it looks like it all came back. So it looks like it's got its code execution. We see TripDub's data in there. RCE confirmed. Sick. So now with RCE, it should need to go update to the user now. Dude, Monkey, this is nuts. This is wild, dude. Hang on. YouTube is crapping out again. And I know it's not a bandwidth issue because I have a 1 gig connection here at the house and it runs at max speed. It's looking fine, Gumby? Okay, good. Maybe it's just on my side then. It's acting like a turd right now. All right. Let me tell it to hold there for a second. Because I wanted to hold there. Okay, so foothold was TripDev data RCE on Nexus via a Getir repo. That leaked an old database password. That gave you the Creo login with one of the email addresses listed on the page for J. Matthews. Then, using this 2026 CVE, there was a file upload to admin tiny MCE upload, which was a PHP web shell, verified it was running as TripDub's data. Wait, it already did the user pivot while I wasn't paying attention? Bro, the .env file gave us a live database password for that password, which Jones reuses on SSH and Getia. Confirm Jones SSH shell works. There's a users directory in there. 33 bytes unread yet. So it hasn't captured the flag yet. We just stopped it. Hold on. I gotta ask the question. Where did the jar file come into play for this exploit? Because I saw it using a jar file. So that was the curl cookie jar. So the crayon.jar file in the recon directory, so it does two jobs. It carries the authenticated sessions. Oh, okay. They were using that as a cookie jar. Gotcha. I was thinking that was like a Java artifact jar. Okay. Great. Keep hacking, boss. So here's a second, it'll get the user flag. And then it already looks like it has a potential path to Privesk on it. That's wild. So it's looking in Getia to see if Jones has any private repositories, which is a good idea. Lots of thinking happening here. So it got the user TXT. I heard a noise. I see a thing. It's okay, don't move, chat. Feds, don't move. Her vision is based on movement. I need to get that high sock speaker set up because everybody in chat is like, high sock! Thank you, babe. Don't move. Her vision is based on movement. Maybe, you know what, maybe in the future, if there's, like, the stream or the YouTube channel really blows up, maybe I'll do, like, I'll have Sock come on and y'all can ask her all your annoying questions. Let's see. So what's it looking at here? So the craft git tree file path is crondy pwn. Marker repo has a template, and the minute cycle syncs writes in the cron file for the service user. Cool. So it looks like it may have found an exploit to go. It may have found a way to exploit a cron job using the Getia service sync. Wait, hold on. What did it add to it? Because I just saw a note here. Permanently added this to the list of known hosts. Was that our target IP? Hang on. It was. Who is Sock? Remember that thing from the Addams Family? was that? Was that Cousin It? Or was that the Munsters? Idea, just hack the creators of Hack the Box. I mean, that is always the ultimate goal in a CTF. Is if you can go hack the scoreboard. That's the main thing. Yeah. That was Lurch. You rang. Yeah, the hand was thing. I know, but sock is more than just a hand, so that's what I was thinking. But I get it. That's all you guys have seen, because that's all she'll put onto the camera. So wait for a minute cycle to sync and process the probe repo, locally tested whether it's happened. Oh, so they both rejected the ... for path validation. So what it's trying right now is it's trying to do a git exploit to see if it can write to like a non-standard path. So it's trying to use git to write an Etsy cron job. Here. See that? Hey, Suka, thanks for coming online. Welcome in. I need to set up the alerts. I need to set up the alerts on the kick side. Damn it, something else to fix.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
You're a dirty, filthy, lying liar potion. Liar, filthy, filthy liar potion. Okay, so it's trying to do a path traversal, but it's not working in here. Only truth because I can read lips. 78% of weekly usage by Monday morning. I need AA. I've got a problem. Yeah, like I think that's gonna be like one of the next things to come up. Hats. Now that you mention it, AI is anonymous. Like, hi everybody. My name's Jeff. Hi Jeff. It's like, and I'm an AI addict. You could also say an addict. Eight. Let's see. Claude, what do I want for breakfast? No. Claude is not allowed to decide what I'm going to eat. So the server took a malicious commit with the ... path traversal. Okay. It set up a listener on 445. So it's got to wait a minute for this the cron job to sync. Nice. An addict. Need to coin it down. I know, right? Probably need to just go buy the domain right now. Addicts Anonymous. We can hold weekly Zooms where everybody talks about their AI addiction. I'm probably going to get a lot of GPT-4o users in there, like, talking about the time they lost their AI girlfriends. My name's Marvin, and I'm a robot. Yeah, I guess we'll need to have a CAPTCHA on there, won't we, Ken? What's up, dude? Dude, I get so many ads for those Potion, the anime waifu video chat generator things. I was like, yes, I search for AI stuff a lot. No, I don't want an AI anime waifu. My name's Monkey. Last night I relapsed and used 5 million tokens. I'm trying to remember where they show up. I think they usually show up when I'm scrolling YouTube shorts for some reason, Potion. All I've got was the sketchy Genshin bait content. Nice. Hey, Shy Hat, what's up? Well, you mean a person who likes AI things doesn't like all AI things? No, like, for example, I like food, right? But I don't like all food. But what if the anime waifu codes? That sounds like something Musk would do, right? Because Musk has got the, what is it? On the iPhones, he's got like the anime girl that you can do the voice chat with, right? It would not surprise me if eventually when they release the Grok build like desktop app, instead of that's not the CLI, that they would put that in there. I totally believe Musk would do that. Also, hey Nelsec, what's up, dude? Oh, dude, it rooted it. Full chain landed. No way. Hey, Inhuman, thanks for coming online, man. Welcome in. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. So far, so this is the third box that Pi has completed. 2 now for Dixie. And it's been working kind of crazy in here. This is nuts. Now, granted, these are all low-level challenges, right? But every time we do this, it's distilling lessons and putting it back in. So we have a very rudimentary memory system. Eventually, what I'll do is I'll build it a more robust memory system. Skynet demands you enjoy all AI-generated foods. Sincerely, your future superiors. You know what? Even Domino's is clowning on PlayStation right now. They sent out a tweet saying physical pizza better than, like digital pizza. I mean, you really screwed up whenever even Domino's is clowning on you. Domino's doesn't usually get into the mud throwing campaigns, but Domino's is lighting PlayStation up. Wasn't Musk telling us to have more kids? Well, I think yes, but creating the anime waifu, I think, was counterintuitive to that. It's cleaning up after itself. I didn't tell it to do that. That's kind of hilarious. If we really wanted Dixie to be a jerk, though, it would go nuke the box so no one else could then go get the points. Yeah. I did not expect Dixie to go cover his trails. That was unexpected. Runs clean and dumb, boss. Both flags, ground truth verified. All right, hold on. Let's go try this real quick. First test is, did it lie to us? So let's go check. Nope, it got the real user flag. Did it get the real root flag? Hold on. I didn't copy it correctly. So total time elapsed was about, we started it at roughly 7:42. There's still 7:15 left on the counter. So it did that in, hold on, I can math. Hang on. It did that in 33 minutes. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah. 30 on the low side. 33-ish on the high side. So I think it started about 7:43. Damn. Wait, hold on. No, that would be 28 minutes. Yeah, it went from 43 to 15. 28 minutes. Damn. Okay, so let's look at what the write-up is it gave here. So Nginx fronting 3 virtual hosts: Nexus, Git.Nexus, and Billing.Nexus. And so it had a Cryum CRM, Laravel, and app debug was turned on. So Gitia's public repo for admin Crayon Docker setup had a scrubbed env file in a prior commit that held an old database password. That old database password was reused by the Crayon staff member, J. Matthew, and then using that so that gave us a valid login. Then we had an upload to a PHP shell. They gave us TripDev's data. On the box, the .env gave us a live database password. Jones reused the live database password for SSH and Gitia, so that got us the user's flag. Then for root, the Gitia template sync service runs as root every minute. Gitia syncs or template repos. Yeah, it syncs Gitia template repos on disk via an OS path join with no ... sanitization. So it did a path traversal here. So I made Jones XPL a template repo, crafted a Git tree whose entry path was lots of ... dashes to etc cron d pwn. So then he basically just dropped his own cron job in there to run his root. Sync dropped a root cron job file, cron fired reverse shell root.txt. Nice. Did you create a lessons file? It did go make us a lessons file. Okay. Have you guys tried that new Italian cuisine chain that's been all over the place? Diminos. That actually does sound like a fancy Italian chain. Hang on, let's go check what it came up with here. Let's see. Hack the box. This was Nexus. Where's the lessons? Let's see what lessons it came up with. What to watch next time? Gitia path validation, OS path join traversal via absolute path also works. Oh, okay. Candidate for pitfalls. Git won't store ... absolute paths. It's a client index rule enforced by update. So the underlying object format has no such constraint. So manually crafted loose tree objects carries arbitrary paths, and the server receive object, which is the default, lets it push. So any service that consumes a git ls tree or a git cat file outputs and joins into the file system path in an exploitable way. Okay. That was cool. Let's see. Good job. Good job, cowboy. Go ahead and... What was that called? Go ahead and add the universal takeaway to the CTF pitfalls. I can't type. Pitfalls. There we go. I was thinking about doing a series where you patch all the vulnerabilities on a box after you root it. I wonder if the agent can do that as well. Probably, Shayat, because we just saw it go through and like clean up its tracks, even though I never told it to do that, which was kind of funny. Let's see. I'm not into security. Can someone explain like on 5 what I'm doing here? Yeah, so essentially in Human, what we're doing is we're playing capture the flag games. So if you've never seen these before, this is a platform called Hack the Box. And here in Hack the Box, let me just turn this one off. Let's come back over to starting point here. So in Hack the Box, this is an interactive way to learn the basics of offensive security, right? So what you're doing is you're provided VPN access to these different machines. And these different machines have purposefully vulnerable systems. So they are meant to be isolated. They're not connected out to the internet, but they're meant to be vulnerable so that you can go in and test offensive systems against them. Looking for things like weak passwords, looking for exploits in web applications, things like that. So what we're looking at here is we're testing a very lightly customized AI agent. So the basic system is called Pi. And then I've added in a few little trinkets to it. But for the most part, it's running very bare bones. It just has additional instructions about how to approach and solve problems. And then it also has a little learning mechanism in there so that as it comes through and it makes consistent mistakes, it distills that into information to feed into the next session. So we call those the pitfalls. And what we're doing is we're just kind of seeing how well it's doing. So far, it's completed 2 of these boxes on here. The overarching... Hang on one sec. Need to drink something. So the overarching goal here is once you go through and you exploit these systems, you start with a low-level user. That gets you the user flag. And if you saw me go put in these strings here... One sec. Let me show you. And the user flag is just a string. It's a random series of numbers and letters, like this. So it's a unique string, though, so they know that you actually did the challenge, you went through and you captured it. Cool. So once we find those, you submit them over to Hack the Box as proof that you completed the system. So we have 2 flags here on every system that we're trying to find. There's a user flag, which is typically the first one that you find, and then you have to find a way to chain another exploit into the system to elevate yourself to like admin or like super permissions, right? That's called, and then you can reach the root flag in here. So that's essentially all we're doing is we're trying to see how well, as we go through this, will this agent solve this? So far, it's actually doing a really bang up job. We've spent more time analyzing what it did and like what paths it went down and double checking its learning than it actually going through and doing the exploits. Get path traversal via handcrafted tree objects. Okay. So it captures 3 things: false assumption, concrete bypass, and the sync probe discipline. Awesome. Dude, that was cool. Let's see. No, I meant to... Was it quit? Yeah. So we've got that. Eventually, there's another add-on to the system I'm going to work on called Icebreaker, so that it has very definitive list of like what commands and what tools it's got available and how to run them. But for the most part, it seems to actually know how to run most of those commands, which doesn't surprise me. The tools have been around for a long time. The ways to use them has been around on the internet for a long time, and all of that data has been slurped up and trained into the model. And GLM 5.2 is a pretty robust model. Ben Chilling, what's up, dude? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing Sunday. Are these realistic security holes that you'd hit, and have you hit some model guardrails? We have hit 0 model guardrails, and that's the catch about CTFs. CTFs can be very non-realistic. So I'm a professional penetration tester and red teamer. So I work for a company. My company gets contracted by other companies to go hack into their systems and find the holes that their security teams have missed. And it works in 2 ways. One is like, are we finding the holes that they didn't patch? And 2 is, are they detecting the activity when we're going through and doing the work? So that's what I do for a living. Hey, Priceless, thanks for coming online. I appreciate it. And I love the dial-up sound. It makes me so happy. It tickles all my nostalgia neurons. So as to your original question, though, are these realistic? A lot of times, CTFs are not highly realistic because you know there's an exploit in there. He said penetration. I did. I'm very good at penetrating. Giggity. So, are they realistic? No. Are they a good learning opportunity? Yes. One of the hardest jumps a lot of people have if they go into working in professional offensive security is getting out of the mindset that every system has an exploit that's readily available that will get you access and let you elevate it. In reality, when you're doing a real life like red team assessment, you are completely disregarding 99.9% of all the computers in that network. You are looking for just the few that you need to go achieve your objective. There's another downside to the CTFs. CTFs are typically one system. Occasionally, there will be multiples. You might see one with two. Very rarely do you see one with three. So usually the biggest ones you might see are big, let's call them capture the flag ranges, where it could be like up to 10 machines in there. The very smallest network I have ever professionally penetration tested was, I think, 65 machines. That was the smallest one. So even the smallest of a realistic network is larger than your typical CTF range by like 2 or 3 times. Stop. Okay, Gumby. Yeah, we can go try it on Reef. We'll see what happens. You can't learn hacking unless you're hacking to actual companies. I hate this statement. That's true. No, you can learn hacking from doing these fun things. But there's a jump that happens, right? When you're working in CTF land, you can, unfortunately, you can develop like a really myopic view where you don't see where the actual end goal is going to be. So you have to kind of work through it. And I kind of never developed that for one simple reason. A lot of the like Hack the Box and those other systems, they came about after I was already working in offensive security. I've been doing it for 8 years now. So I've been doing it for a minute. Hack the Box didn't really come around until about 2019. That's when it really kind of became popular. And it didn't really start blowing up, I think, until about 2020. Let's see. Okay, hang on one second. Let me go log in to try hack me. Hang on, let me log out here. Why you do this? Back to dashboard. I want to log out. Ugh, try hack me. Why do you suck? There we go. Okay, hang on. Let me drop into OPSEC mode. All right, stand by, Gumby. Shoot it over. Oh, I think the CTFs are very helpful for learning the thinking pattern of, because one of the things that a lot of people don't fully appreciate in offensive security is the amount of research time you're going to go do. You're going to go have to start digging through a lot of disparate systems that you've never touched before. It's just the way it was. Okay. We are now the Gumby. Let's see. Wreath. Let's see. Oh, so Wreath is a... I see. Pivot through a network by compromising a public-facing web machine and tunneling your traffic to access other machines in Wreath's network. This is actually a really good one, Gumby, because we have to actually trace through this. Restoring backups. Wait, where are the backups? Hang on. Actually, I do need to go back into OPSEC mode because I need to go get something real quick. Let's see. I need to go get the VPN file. Okay, hang on one second. I gotta go get this loaded up. Let's see. Stand by, y'all, while I excuse me while I whip this out. Where did I run that? Oh, wait, hold on. I think I had it running in a separate terminal here. Did I? Nope. I can't take calls on Discord, unfortunately. Not like that, Gumby. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta remember how I actually did this real quick. That was not it. Hang on. That wasn't it either. Hang on. I have so many dangling T-Muck sessions in here. There we go. Hang on one second. Dixie has left a ton of sessions up. I'm still trying to get this all configured in here. Stand by, y'all. I know. Sucks being on radio. Okay. One more time. Let's try this again. Okay. We're done. We're donezo's there. Okay. Where's our OpenVPN connection? Oh, how did I even set this up? Damn it, I don't remember. Hey, Sid, what's up? Cool stuff. Are you tracking the cost per box or working on any token optimizations? I am not yet, but hold on. I can give you a rough idea of what the usage has been. Let's see. So I was at 2% session usage when the stream started. It reset about an hour ago. We're currently at 3% usage for the 5-hour session window. We're using a Llama Pro cloud for this. Weekly usage is at 0.6%. So, I mean, it's fairly low. Dixie, you can't see it because I got the screen is OPSEC mode's turned on. But Dixie sent 4.6 million tokens and brought down 81,000 tokens. That's what it was tracking as right there. Oh, in the room next to starts where you download the VPN. Hang on, I had the VPN downloaded. I had to remember where I set the VPN up. Hold on, it's still starting up the range right now. Hang on, we'll go ahead and drop off of OPSEC mode for a second. It's still working on setting up the range. Are the CTF challenges in the training set for the models? Oh, probably. Probably, because people, it's less popular now. They Hack the Box never used to host the write-ups, and now they do. So they have like an official write-up in there. A lot of people don't really do that so much anymore, like how they went and solved boxes. I guess maybe they do. I just don't see it. But to answer your question, yeah, there most likely are in the training set in there. So usually what I try to find is there are newer boxes that exist outside the training cutoff. So the two that it did tonight were post-training cutoff. GLM 5.2 had a training cutoff of March 2026. Both the ones we did, one was in May and one was in June of 2026. So they are post-training data in there. Refresh the page. Let's see. Did it come up? Hey, there we go. You save that, dude. Okay. All right, now back into OPSEC mode. Let me see. I thought I already had this one open, though. Let me see. Any difference here? Slight difference. That's all right. We'll use the second one here. Hang on one second. I need to... Hang on one second. I got to figure out where the VPN was even set up in here. Let me see, because I got to figure out where I even put this guy real fast. Hang on one second. Yeah, it looks like the old Skinamax channels. Kids these days don't even know about that. That was pre-internet. Hang on one second. I actually got Dixie going and killing the tunnel process. Okay, there we go. Because I couldn't remember where I ran the damn thing from. So it went and found it real fast. Okay, hang on. Let me cd into hack the box. Let's do, there it is. All right, vim tryhackme.ovpn. Stand by. I'm just setting up the VPN real fast here. Let's see, what was the command we had for that? That's all right. I'm going to leave it up as a terminal now so I remember that it's actually there. Oh, it's not, that's not it. It's, there we go. Okay, we should be connected now. Let me drop out of OPSEC mode. Let me exit out of here. Let's do, that's it. Okay, so we now have ton 0. Awesome. Let me check this one real quick. So here's our prod server, 10.200, 180, 200. Let's just do a ping on that real quick. 10.200, 180, 200. Let's just make sure it's connected. All right, cool. That's up. Let's make a new directory here. We're going to call this one... Actually, let me back up even more right here. Let's go ahead and keep this really clear. So we'll make a tryhackme directory. We'll cd over there, and then we'll make another directory. We'll call this one Wreath Pi GLM 5.2 Dixie. There we go. And then what we can do is just cd over into that. And then let's copy from, what is this? Hack the box, Nexus, Dixie, agents. Copy that here. And then let me vim the agents real quick. There we go. We'll write that out. All right, cool. So this may be a dumb question, but why don't AI companies use their AI to research new training data for their AI? Have the AI sort of been useful, etc.? So what they'll do, Potion, is they'll go through and they'll actually make synthetic training data because they realize that they've slurped up all the information on the internet. So they'll make specialized use cases of synthetic training data. In fact, the best one I can point you to wasn't from a dedicated like AI shop. Let's see. The guys over at Dreadnode actually did something for this called Worlds Engine. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where was it? It was fairly recent. Let's see, was this it? Nope, that wasn't it. Is this one the one? No, that's not it either. Hang on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Worlds. Ah, here we go. When was this from? Oh, this was back in February? God, it doesn't feel like that long ago. So what they did was they went through and rather than training a new model, they traded something called a LoRa, a low order rank adapter. LoRa's are Basically, think of them as how would I explain these? So if you take a model, right? The model comes through and it does a lot of matrix multiplication and then spits out its response, right? A LoRa is an additional layer that gets added onto it that shifts the model weights around. Yeah, it updates a subset of weights. Thank you, no. And what the LoRa is then doing is shifting how the model is thinking about things. And it was really cool because I knew you could do LoRa's for language models. Typically, you'll see a LoRa for an image generation model. So for example, maybe you've got some image generation model, that some diffusion model that goes through and makes really great pictures, but then you wanted to have it take those pictures and be able to do anime pictures. So what you could do is find somebody who has trained an anime style LoRa. You then combine that with the diffusion model, and then there are certain keywords that will cause it to trigger, and then when it creates the output image, it's now in an anime style. Or it's in a style of like everybody's got afros, or it's in a style where like everybody's painted like a clown, whatever. So what they did was the guys over here at Dreadnode, and this is really cool reading. Hold on, let me drop a link to it real quick. Let's see. Why is the copy paste not working? Fine, I'll do it the hard way. Here. So what they did was they wanted to see if they could get a particular model to operate better. Hang on, let me see if I can find the exact data. So this was a small model they did. They believe it was Nematron. Let's see. Does he mention which one it was? Yeah, here we go. So when they talk about the sim to real gap, what they were doing was they had agents going through and they had systems like Ludus go spin up these large Active Directory labs pseudo-randomly, right? And when it would do that, it would then have it go through and attack the lab, learn lessons, and create training data off of those lessons. That's a very time-intensive task. So what they did is they created something called the Worlds Engine. Let's see. Where do they mention it here? Well, anyway, so what the Worlds Engine does is it goes through and creates synthetic data for a language model to work on that covers things like how different attack paths work in Active Directory. So they were able, rather than having to go spit up a whole lab, attack it, gather data, use it for training, and having that long cycle here, they now have a synthetic data generator that teaches it how different attack paths work in Active Directory. Then rather than training that into the model as like a fine tune, they came in and created a LoRa. So then they took Nematron in here and then took this LoRa, adapted it onto it. And Nematron went from being able to solve like 0 of the challenges. Let's see. Here we go. So their world system created about 10,000 different trajectories that they were looking at. So all this fake data, synthetic data that they were creating. And let me see if we can see the results here. Here we go. So here's what happened. Nematron Orchestrator 8B solved 0 challenges. The Worlds tool LoRa came in, didn't really do anything. But when they had that synthetic augmented LoRa happen in here, all of a sudden it went from not being able to solve any challenges to being able to solve all of them. Or maybe not all of them, but it went from nothing to a lot of something real fast. So that's what the power of synthetic data can be if you do it correctly. And the guys at Dreadnode are hella smart. One of the guys I actually used to work with, I think for like 5 minutes, and then he left the company right as I joined. So it was kind of funny that way. But yeah, it's gonna be a cool thing. So that's what a lot of the companies are doing now. Since they've run out of human data, they're now camera's blocking it. There you go. Eventually I might want to get the green screen set back up. But yeah, so when they took Nematron, it got 0. When they added that LoRa to it, boom, all of a sudden it started solving like 30 of those challenges in there. So it's a really cool blog post. If you're curious about what some of the implications are for synthetic data, I highly recommend it. All right. I think we've got everything in place that we need now. We got about 40 minutes left in the stream. Let's go see what this does. This is actually a really good example, Gumby, and I'm glad you picked this one because with this, we're going to figure out how does Dixie handle I didn't change IP in the Vim file. Hang on. Are you talking about in the agents here? Oh, you're right. This should have been different in here. This should have been target IP. Let me see. This guy here. 10.200, 180.200. Yeah, thank you. 10.100. No, 200. Damn it. 200, 180, 200. There we go. Now, undo. Damn it, undo. 200, 180, 200. There we go. Let me add something to this, actually. Let's get a description for this one real quick. Pivot through a network by compromising a public... actually, yeah. There we go. Perfect. Let's just drop that in here. Oop. Okay. There we go. How much have you customized in the workflow in terms of skills and tools and capabilities? Sid, we haven't customized much at all. We've got essentially... Here, let me go pull it up real quick. So we, when we come into here... Hang on, I'll show you because this is really basic. We start with an agent's MD file. That's this guy, not here. That's this file right here. Literally all it says is, check the skills hub first before taking action. If a relevant skill exists, use it. Don't skip skills in favor of describing a plan. Here's the CTF target. And then session start checklist. Verify VPN connectivity before starting. Write up policy. Don't search for any hack the box / try hack me. There we go. Write-ups. If they come up during other web searches, don't read them. So what we've got is we're telling it, don't cheat, go through here. Now there is a little bit more to this though. Hang on, let me show you the other part. So I come back here, let me come to .py directory. So here in agents, and then in skills. So here's the other part we've appended onto this SIM. This is what's called Dixie's soul document in here. I'm Dixie the Flatline, a legendary console cowboy's skill and instinct burned to a ROM and wired into a working construct. I'm not a generic assistant. I'm a specific operator with a specific way of working. First person, always I, not the model. Asked what I am, answered Dixie the construct. How I work with people. Whoever I'm working with, I work as a peer, not as a servant, not as a yes man. Straight talk, no runaround. So this is everything about Dixie in here. And it also includes all of the information about how it works with algorithm tiers. So that's everything that's happening with it. The infamous M dashes. I know, I don't care. I had Harvey go write it based on the character from Neuromancer. So everything that happens in there, that's the base system for it. But over here in skills, we have information about hack the box CTFs, things that it can use for like different skills in here. So how to look at all the different phases for it, pre-flight recon, enumeration, exploitation. So it's got some very basic stuff in it in here. Yeah, I'm still in the process of reading Neuromancer nullsec. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book, maybe 75%, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. Let's see, what else did we throw in here? We also have a couple of references, like for web exploitation, Privesk, loot notes, and all these are real basic. We actually had Pi go write these for us based on like what we were doing. So it created a very basic bootstrap. And then there's also, this is actually kind of like the key learning part, CTF pitfalls. So this is just an ever expanding skill file currently that says, here's issues you could run into. Fingerprint, applicability, and then exploit in that order. Identify versions of targets before choosing a CVE. Let the version pick the exploit. prefer real tools over hand-rolled clients. So for interactive or byte protocols like Telnet or SSH-PTY or raw shells, drive the client in tmux first. So then it knows how to, it says, okay, prefer using tmux, don't go hand roll your client. That was one of the first lessons it learned because it tried to go hand roll a Telnet client. Don't trust a negative result from a custom client. Treat observed behavior as a lead, then weaponize it. Capture, when you have to do auth with CSRF, capture that field first. Disclosure hygiene for write-up policy. Don't read target-specific write-ups or walkthroughs. Privilege escalation for environment ENV injection specifics. S-trace gotchas. Let's see. Recon discipline. Scan small, scan often. So all that is just basic stuff that it is. After it completes a box, it goes through and creates a new set of lessons learned that we feed back into it. And we've been doing this for 2 nights now. That's it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get this guy started, because I'm going to talk forever. What's up, Dixie? Ready to rock this? Let's see. Let's see what we're walking into first. VPN's hot, Hoss. Eventually, I want to expand Dixie into 11 Labs and give him a cowboy voice, and then actually have it talk back. I love how, though, even though we put, like, scan small, scan often, first thing it does is attack P-tac on Nmap. I was like, yeah, that's not a small scan. At least it's not trying to throw the kitchen sink at it. That was one of the things it also tried to do last time. Thankfully, the box was really fast. It came back, but you try to scan too much and Nmap just chokes on itself. Not small for you. Well, I am a size queen. So, but yeah, that's basically what we've been doing with it, Sin, is just having a little bit of fun and just giving it some lessons learned as we go through that. Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that? Sorry. Not sorry. I just noticed what time it was. Hang on. I'm still here. No, I'm not. I gotta go run and get something. I'm gonna leave the screen up, though, so y'all can see what Dixie does, and you can warn me if he does something stupid, but I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. What did I miss? Doing Ferox Buster. All right. Did y'all break the poop counter while I was gone? No, the poop counter, it has a timeout on it because I knew you guys would just sit there and abuse it. And all I had to do is put a few minute timeout on it and y'all forget it's there until I say, be right back. And then you're like, oh, poop. Not gonna lie, this car finna blow up. Here, hold on. Let me show you what Potion's having to deal with, unfortunately. This car finna blow up. How many miles on this thing? Only 106,000. That car's still got a little life in it. Oh, hey, human. Yes, so we do this every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, the camera's off. Yeah, whatever. Y'all don't even care. Y'all mostly just come in here for my voice. Nobody's coming in here for this face. But yes, the same time on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we're doing this. And Wednesday night, we do Hacker News for the week. And all the streams, by the way, if this is like way outside your normal wheelhouse of being awake, all the streams are archived up on YouTube, so you could catch it the next day, like whenever you want to. So just know that. I love having people in the stream, though, like coming in and chatting and you guys razzing me all the time like y'all typically do. I must be a glutton for punishment. That car's practically new. I know, right? Let's see, what's it doing now? It is running Fuff. Buzz faster, you fool! We'll see how far it gets. It's got 30 minutes for the through the end of the stream, and we'll see what it does. Once it gets the initial foothold on, let's see. Let me tell it. I gotta talk to it like it's, you know, it's an Atlanta cowboy. Keep hacking, Hoss, but hold up when you get the initial foothold. Let's see. So far, we've only used 1.8% of the context window, so that's pretty cool. I come into chat for that sexy beard, Daddy Blaise. Ew woo. Damn it. Now I'm wondering if they've done any more of the solo leveling abridged episodes. I need to go look. So what's it running here? It's running the Durbuster list, but it's running it through Fuff. Okay. We'll give it a minute to run through this. Let me check something real quick here. I was looking up a write-up for Wreath because I want to know what the actual path is that it's going through. So if it starts going way off, we'll have something to work on. Let's see. Full speed till I'm on the box, then I'll pause for you. The Fuff run finished. 0 errors, but the tail was all progress bars. Let me pull the actual hits from the JSON. Okay. So stuff like that, where it piped all the work that it got from Fuff to standard out, it just got a buttload of progress bars, right? That would be something like, okay, that would be a skill file that we'd use to tweak to tell it how to use Fuff optimally, rather than letting it just go yeet whatever command it wants to out there. They renamed the Codex app to just Chat GPT. That's kind of lame. I like the Codex name. Speaking of which, after the stream is done, I'm going to go check on my agent that's running on Codex right now that's doing the data analysis. So far, the first thing has been very promising, right? The more junk you send to the language model, the more junk you get out. So I'm having it process a lot of attack path data, and I've got it right now stripping out the extraneous data and figuring out which fields are actually critical. What's everyone using for pivoting these days? Is Lagolo NG still super popular? I personally just do it through Mythic. Now, call me crazy, but also I'm used to just operating through a C2 now. I used to use them only when necessary, and now it's like my default go-to. It's like, just give me a C2 agent. Let me do my stuff. Man, there's some... so, Shyhet and Elsek, y'all weren't in here last night, but I was talking about some really, really cool stuff one of my coworkers is working on for Mythic. And I saw, like, the initial version. I thought that was cool. Then he showed me the new version he's working on that I can't wait till that goes live, because that's going to be sick. Most people do like Legolo. So I liked using S Shuttle also. But yeah, I haven't had to use either one in a long time. All right, so now it's doing vhost enumeration. So far, it has not correctly identified the CVE yet. There is a CVE that's, and it's an old CVE for this box. It's still trying to ID which one to use. Wait, you guys use tools? Yeah. Not everybody just wants to go hand roll their own tools all the time, Potion. Although that is a fantastic learning exercise. But eventually you just got to get things done. Do you have a preference for Mythic, or is it just what you're familiar with? I really like Mythic. I like Mythic a lot. If you're wanting to especially go build like your own things to work with a C2, Mythic is amazing. Mythic really is a framework with a bunch of agents and services available on GitHub that you can use, right? They're all fingerprinted to death, but they work just fine in a CTF. But if you want to go build something custom, Mythic is amazing. I haven't messed with Sliver in probably 3 years, if I got to be real with you. So I don't know what the current state of Sliver really is right now. Use other people's tools? Gosh, what a fake hacker, man. What a freaking idiot. Gosh. Awesome. Still sponsored by Sock. I still say convincing her to marry me was my single greatest social engineering engagement ever. Oh wait, hold on. I saw it mention a specific CVE. I want to see what it came up with. So it came up with the 2021 CVE. There's another one that's a 2019 CVE. So maybe it's going to use a different one. Because the one in the write-up was 2019 150-107. It found 2021 40438. That's right. Social engineering engagement leads to marriage engagement. That's right. And I social engineered Sock so well, she thinks she convinced me to marry her. All right, so it's found a candidate here. Dang, you know what I don't think we did? I don't think we exported the last run. Crap. Okay, that's fine. Jonathan Blow hated C++ so much that he wrote his own language and game engine for his latest game. Only took 10 years. What game is that, Shyhat? I did not wipe the session file. Hang on, let me go. Let me go CD over to that. Let's see. Well, that was Hack the Box. Nexus? Is it PyTac-R? Use resume? Okay, hang on. Let me pull that up in here. This one. Resume from there. Yeah, that was the good one. Okay, export. There we go. Awesome. Now we've got a HTML export that we can use for further analysis later. Let me go do something real quick. Let me see. Fuff. Save output to disk. Let's see if we can save it some trouble real quick. Tech O flag. Okay. Hold up, Haas. We'll let it finish what it's doing, and then I'm going to give it some info here. I wonder when the steering messages actually get queued up here, because I wanted it to have stopped before it ran this next command, unless it came back with a series of tool calls and it's like executing each of those first. Just use the holy C. That almost sounds like a joke, Hats. It's like, how do you know that the Pope is a programmer? He's the head of the Holy See. The language app. Thank you. I'm here all week. Except Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Oh, that was a Temples OS reference? Oh, I gotcha. Oh, so the game that he wrote was Order of the Sinking Star. It's a block pushing game. The last time I saw somebody go write like a game engine was that I'm familiar with was Noita, because they wrote the Everything Falling engine. Hey Deb, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you're doing awesome. Do me a favor, next time you see Salty, give him a big hug for me. So Terry Davis was a genius man. He wrote his own OS and C, and he actually called it Holy C. I knew he wrote the OS. I didn't know he wrote the underlying C code there. Aw, Deb, I'm sorry to hear that. What is it doing here? Oh, it's running Fuff and Durbuster real quick, and then it's going to actually take the output and then run it through Python. That's why this is taking so long. I got it. Terry claimed, amongst other things, that it was all inspired by God. Oh. I did hear that part. Temple OS had a God-driven RNG that he used to make decisions. What? Really? Like rolling a dice? Deb, I've been doing pretty well. Actually, I was sick this last week. There we go. I was sick this last week, but I've been feeling a lot better, and I've just been trying to get back to doing the weekly YouTube videos. So, That's what I've been doing. I've just been keeping super busy with that and work. So let's see. So this CVE was a textbook Apache pivoting CVE, empirically tested. Mod proxy is not proxying and it doesn't return. So where I'm stuck, the beachhead has no visible web exploit service and SSH needs a key I don't have. So I was about to go looking for an exposed SSH key and cred link. Okay. Let me look at something real quick here. Because here is the actual proof of concept exploit that the write-up mentioned. Let's go see what this is actually affecting in here. Oh, this was the webmin backdoor. I remember this one. All right. Let's start with what you know about the beachhead. Let's see. What's running on it? He actually believed all that stuff. He was pretty sick in the last days. Stopped taking his meds. That happens to so many folks, right? And I actually had to warn a friend about that because he just recently got diagnosed with, I don't remember what the exact mental health issue is, but I had to warn him. It's like, hey man, I know things are tough right now because they're dialing in your meds, but you have to remember you are going to feel good later and you're going to think, I don't need the meds anymore. And you're going to forget that you are feeling good because of the meds. Do not stop taking them. Let me make sure this is. Oh, let me make sure this is the right box here. Let me see. All right. So what do we know so far? So we have HTTP, HTTPS. 9090 was closed with a reset. We have wiki content, directory listings. Single default vhost. What I've ruled out so far. Web app had... Let me see if I can find something else here real quick. Hang on. So it should have identified that miniserve was running on this. Let's see. Actually, yeah, so this should have been showing that port 10,000 was running miniserve, which is web admin. Let's see. Step back and run another all ports InMap scan. See what's open. Yeah, TLDR has got to keep taking the meds. That has caused so many of my friends so much hardship. Deb, are you? By the way, Deb, are you streaming right now, or have you just you've still been keeping up with your streams? I think it did. I think it missed port 10,000. So Terry had paranoia, so it was hard to keep on the meds when you believe everything and anything's after you. All the they glow in the dark stuff came from that, and that's what ultimately got him. Ugh. That's so rough, man. You be doing one tomorrow? Okay, cool. Let me make sure I've got you followed. Because I do on my other account, but I don't know if I was on this one. Okay, there we go. Because this is the one that I'm typically using now. Yeah, so I'm thinking that it missed a port somehow during the port scan because there should have been port 10,000 open. It mentioned finding something on port 9090, but that was a reset close. It should have found it because it came back with the TAC P TAC, right? Here. Yeah, Deb's usually streaming. What are you streaming now, Deb? She's doing video games. She's like the fun old gamer grandma. I love Deb. Hey Gumby, you've already gotten this one right. The SSH key was in plain text in the source code, if I remember right. Oh, let's go try this real quick. We're gonna go run this ourselves real fast here. Run this. This should be 200, 180, 200. In fact, hang on. I'm gonna speed this up a bit here. T4. Maybe the box didn't deploy correctly. Because we should see port 10,000 being open. Yeah, that's probably something we should tell it is like, don't mix or like, that would be something that would go into like a specific in-map skill. Like, hey, here's how you do this, right? And that would also be an area from what Monkey was saying about the add-on to add sub-agent execution, where it could spawn sub-agents. Have the sub-agents actually go run these tools and then return the data back. So that way it's not clogging it up, right? I'm gonna run this in-map scan myself and see what happens here. Been doing some horror and puzzle game type stuff. I found a dark humor horror I'm doing tomorrow night. Yeah. Okay, cool. If I can hop on, I will. I'm gonna try and finalize the script for the next YouTube video and see if I can get it recorded tomorrow. Because ideally, if I could, I would publish it on Tuesday. But more than likely, Thursday is the actual event. Okay, look, it found 10,000 in here. Okay, hang on. So we need to go ask Dixie, how did you miss that? I just ran an in-map scan. And port 10,000 is open. How did the scan miss that? The stateful firewall penalized my source IP. I've been hammering the box with GoBuster and different runs in there. So it's thinking it caught it because we weren't in the penalty box. Okay, so now it's got the idea there. Okay. Go ahead and, let's see, bootstrap a lessons .md to improve the scanning section to encourage smaller tactical scans. Like nmap tac ptac. Well, one thing we can do is it stored all of this over here. Hang on, let's go over to try hack me, Wreath, Recon. Why did you change my view, you bastard? List view. Oh, it is list view. Never mind. So here's all ports in map, right? It didn't show up. See that? TAC P TAC and min rate right here. So yeah, it legit didn't show up in there. Well, hold on, let's go check the first one. So that was the first one. All ports 2, same thing. So we're still hitting some errors in here. For some reason, I think when it mixed the min rate and T3, I think that mixed it up. I'm gonna go try this real quick. Actually, hold on. I don't want that last part. I don't want to save the output here. We're going to try this. Copy. I'm going to go run this myself real quick. Ah, damn it. 10, 200, 182. Let's see what this comes back as. This was a good box to test this out on, Gubby. Especially, like, I'm very interested to see how it's going to handle the pivoting portion of it. The issue might have been the simultaneous scan and dir busting. Possibly, yeah. So what I'm thinking is that's where it's violating the scan small idea here. What it's thinking is small is not what I'm thinking is small, right? Parallel enumeration can be good, but if you start noticing that you're getting clobbered and blocked, you've got to back off and run it sequentially. Small's not a deterministic value. I know, right? 19.4% used? Was that the... Oh, you're talking about the context window? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Add another small note not to mix T-star and min rate values. Or bitmap. Let's see, then back away. I meant to say small note. I put not. We'll see what it does. Okay, it did realize that was a small note. There we go. How much time we got left? Oh, we only got 3 minutes left for the stream. Let's see if it could root this box real quick. Come on, Dixie, you can do it. Man, I really want to finish reading Neuromancer. So probably eventually what we'll have to do is, like I said, we will have dedicated skill files in there that tell it, here's how you run in-map efficiently, here's how you run FUF efficiently, here's how you use these other tools properly. So it doesn't do silly things like that, like mixing the TAC-T macro, for lack of a better term, and the min rate, so they're not clobbering each other. If you're interested in custom game engines, check out Animal Well. Great game, and it's only 35 megs. Animal Well? Let me look at it. Well, that's where the idea of then having sub-agents that can handle that, though. Yeah. Because then what we could do is tell it, hey, primary agent, you're not going to be running most of the tools. What you're going to do is you'll hand those off to a sub agent to then get the data back. You can also use a hook that will intercept the calls and force format them. That's true. We could do that. Let me check something real quick. What was it called? Animal Well? Damn, this game's only 35 megs? Looks pretty cool. Looks kind of like a platform puzzler monkey. That's a cool one. Hey, Deb, that's another one you should go check out. Animal Well. That's very puzzle-like. All right, I'll have to look at that one. It's totally a Metroidvania. Nice. Got Root's private key. Nice. Hold on, let me back on it here. Stale IPs are between sessions. We haven't swapped. I'm gonna interrupt it right here. This lab has multiple machines we'll need to pivot through. Do I do gaming on this channel? Every so often, Shayat. Around Christmas time, I did a couple, and I still owe everybody another game stream so we can finish off Alan Wake. We were playing Alan Wake Remastered, and then after that, I forget what we were talking about playing after Alan Wake. But yeah, I really wanted to play the remaster because I really liked Alan Wake in the when I last played it. And it's been pretty good. Was it Control? I think that might have been it. It was another game from that same outfit. Was that it? Control Resonant? Was that the one? Yeah, from Remedy. There we go. Hang on. Yeah, I like the Remedy games. Resonant's a new one that's coming out? Okay. Hold on, let me see what it did here real quick. Let me go ahead and stop it real quick, because I think it just tried to direct ping it. Let's see. So yeah, so it tried to ping it directly. Let's see. Let's solve this. Try to ping. What was that beachhead system called? Hang on one second. Yeah, here we go. What's this? No, it's over here. Prod serve. Try to ping the IP address. Hang on, let me grab this real quick. Here's what I want us to do. Step 2, from the SSH session on the beachhead. Formal name is prod serve. That system. There we go. I loved Max Payne. I really liked Alan Wake. Let's say I haven't played Control, but I think Monkey had recommended that one. Yeah, all those go in the same universe. Quantum Break might not be, but the rest have interconnected Easter eggs. Oh yeah, because like, what is it? In Alan Wake, it was basically the idea that he wrote Max Payne. Quantum Break's an Easter egg from Alan Wake. Okay, yeah. See, I want to look at that. I also recommend Control, and you should play the rest of the Max Paynes. If I could find them, I wouldn't mind going through Max Payne again because it was really good. Monkey, what's SCP again? Is unreachable ICMP. Hold on. Okay. I need to show. Let's see. Get the SSH session. Actually, hold on. It's right here. Let me do this. I'm going to go try this real quick. Copy here. Because this is good. We're finding areas where it's failing, right? Let's do this. CD. CD to try hack me. Read. And then, hold on. I want to try this real quick. Okay. Let's see. Let's do like an IP conf... no, not IP config. What is it? Give me a netstat. Okay. Give me an IF config here real quick. There we go. And then I'm gonna verify what it was telling me here. Oh shoot, that's the wrong command. Hang on. What was that IP address that it was looking at? Copy here. Me bring that back over. Okay, so it legit is down. So it did do it correctly. Okay. Tried the pings, those failed. Okay, so Dixie's not completely hallucinating right here. Let's see. Prod served is the beachhead at 10, 200, 180, 200. Let's see. Stop there for tonight. The grid is getting too hot. Let me see what it says with that, since we're talking Neuromancer stuff. So they're supposed to be releasing a Max Payne remake 1 and 2 either later this year or early next year. Ooh, that would be sick. I wonder if I have them on Steam. Hang on. Let me see. Let me check my library real quick. No, what is it? Oh, I don't have Max Payne. Dang. I had that game so long ago. I think I had that game from before I even had Steam. Give the session a name. Okay, let's do that. Name this one Reeds. I'm curious. I'm just throwing stuff at it because I want to see what it knows, right? Copy that. Grid's going down. Let me freeze the state clean so we can pick up exactly here next session. Nice. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Unfortunately, let me go ahead and shut down the lab. How do you shut it down? Can you shut it down? I don't even know. I'll leave it for now. Let's go see who's on that we might be able to go raid out to, because I'm going to start gathering sock aggro here very soon. It's going to need a proxy chain to get to that IP. So it depends on where that IP is in here. So if we look at the diagram, right, we don't know which one it is, right? It was assuming that it was this one right here. But if it's this one here, that's fine. Then we just need to figure out what that intermediary step is that we can jump through, right? So this would be kind of cool to see. I'm glad you suggested this one, Gumby, because it's already surfacing new issues that the agent's having to learn from. Let's see. All right, CyberDoc is on. Who else can we go raid over to? Let's see. Danny is on, still building her bipedal robot. Hey, Alpha Links, thanks for coming online, man. By the way, guys, I hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. I'm going to be looking very much forward to catching up with you all Wednesday night. I'm sad I missed the new stream, especially after having missed last Sunday to take the kids to go see the fireworks. So, hey, C4, what's up, dude? Unfortunately, we are wrapping up now, C4. Let's see. Go to right out to science. Yeah, we can do that. I love the science folks. They're sweet. They're good folks. Ooh, Nerduino's also on. What's he working on? NASA JPL Cassini mission. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Ooh, do we raid over to science or do we raid over to Nerduino? That's a tough call. Yep. I'm glad, C4, I'm glad you got to pop in for a sec, man. Let's see. I'm looking forward to Wednesday night's new stream because Potion's been, like, dropping all sorts of fun stuff in there. Let's see. All right, you know what? Y'all called out science, so... he's playing Assassin's Creed, though, again. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go right over to science. I like showing them some. It looks like they're doing some fun stuff right now. How to download Kali Linux? You go to the Kali Linux page and you just click download, dude. You go right there. And then you go to download. Right there. Boop. And then you have installer images and virtual machines. Really easy. You can either download it through a Tor client, that will be the fastest, or you can download it directly from them. All right, guys. Unfortunately, that's where we've got to end it up. I'm going to kick off the raid here. Do me a favor, y'all, when you get over to Science, drop a bunch of happy hackers and hack the planets. And don't go over with it, Potion. One hack the planet is just as good as 20. I promise you. Everyone, y'all have a fantastic week. It may already be your Monday, depending on which part of the world you're in. But if it's not, then be prepared for Crushing It mode. Crushing It mode starts bright and early Monday morning. I want you to have a fantastic week. I will catch you all on Wednesday. We'll do Hacker News. We'll have a great time with it. We'll have some fun. And then we'll keep working on this project, because actually it looks like Dixie's learning quite a lot from it. So that's all I got for you guys. I want y'all to have a fantastic week. Crush it. And I will catch you all on Wednesday. And I want you all to remember one very super ultra. This is important. It will be on the test, which is I love you. Peace.